Hey family, welcome back to our channel. Today we have a special guest. Introduce yourself.
I am the father.
He is the father. So today we have decided to answer all of your pressing questions about our life here in Dubai. I posted on Instagram and on my Facebook to see what you guys wanted to know about our life here. So we have gathered about 20 questions. So we're going to answer these questions and give you our perspective about our life here in Dubai. All right, so our first question is kind of like a dual question. It is, how was our move and how was our first year here? You want to take that first question?
The move was pretty easy for me because I came over about 4 months before the family came over. So I was pretty much transferred here by the company that I work for, and I had temporary housing. The first month I was in a company-sponsored hotel that was very close to my job, and then the last 2.5, 3 months I was actually leasing an apartment on the economy. So I didn't come with much stuff. I came with a couple of suitcases and a couple of trunks. So my part of the move was very easy. Now your part, on the other hand, was a little more difficult.
Yes.
Because Keisha had the house back in Woodbridge, Virginia, where we were living at the time, and the 5 kids, and the responsibility of managing the kids while they were in school and getting the house ready to return to the landlord we were leasing in Woodbridge. So how did that work out for you?
It was slightly stressful. I say slightly, but I mean a lot. Only because at the time the baby was only a few months old. He was born in December, and we were packed up and out of the house by what, June?
Yeah, June,
so he was
28th.
barely 5 or 6 months at the time. So I was dealing with, you know, the whole postpartum situation, and of course the kids were still in elementary school. Luckily, we both have very supportive families, so the grandparents took turns coming up over the weekends and things like that to help me pack. My brother actually came and stayed with me for about 4 months, which was a blessing, like an amazing blessing. So we weren't alone, thank goodness. We did have some male energy in the house, someone to help me push the kids in the right direction, because they were all so little at the time. They weren't about that packing life, so it was a struggle to try to get them to get on board with the packing and things like that, but we got it done. The house, we got it all cleaned out, and storage, we got storage, we had to give away things, we took things to the dump. All in all, it was a lot, but with the help that we had, or the help that I had, it was very manageable. And the next question.
Question 2. What brought us to Dubai? What are our jobs? So that's a 2-part question.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned before, I had an opportunity with my company. At the time of this move, I had been with the company right at 5.5 years. I'm a global supply chain manager for a government contractor, and the company has had a presence in the UAE and Dubai specifically for about 8 or 9 years. And there was an opportunity where the individual that was previously in this position moved on to another opportunity, and I was selected to backfill this position. So it was somewhat of a lateral move, which made it a lot easier. I didn't necessarily have to be concerned about getting up to speed or gaining a new skill set per se with the transition. And it was managing a portfolio of programs with which I was familiar. I'd actually worked before. So that's how we got here. My job brought us over here.
Yep, and prior to us coming here, I did work in a hospital setting. By trade, I'm a pharmacy technician. I have been since 1999 when I was active duty in the Air Force. So after staying home with the kids for a little while, I did actually get back into the workforce, and I have been working at a hospital in Arlington, Virginia up until our move. All right, so our next question is, how long will we be here in the UAE?
So that's a really good question. That's kind of the question of the day for our life right now. We've been here a little more than a year and a half, so about a year and 7 or 8 months now. My contract is open. It's not time bound. So in March it'll be 2 years for me. I don't see us moving during the school year. So it's a summer to come that we'll be moving, but right now there's no transition plan back within the next year. But of course, as with anything, if an opportunity presents itself that makes sense, that's what we'll look at.
And y'all will hear the kids in the background. We got 5 of them, so we're gonna hear.
You got 5 kids.
He has 5 kids. Do you hear them crying? Pause for 1 second. All right, question number 4 is, what are some pros and cons to moving to Dubai? A pro for me, a big one, which was why I didn't hesitate at all, I don't think, when the opportunity was first presented. It's just the experience for the kids, to show them there's more to the world than what we had been used to. There's more to the world than the U.S., although, U.S. is great and everything, but the experiences and the eye-opening adventures that we're able to take the kids on at this point in their lives and ours is something that you can't buy. Like, it's irreplaceable. And for our family, I felt like that was something that I definitely wanted to be able to give to them. Gotcha.
The kids are crying.
His kids are crying. They want candy. Okay, so today is the 31st of October, so it's candy and whatnot in the house because Daddy has brought some candy, and so Imani, it's twin kids. Eden is crying because she wants more candy, even though she's already had her fair share of candy. So we're gonna ignore. We don't. Yes, I do. We ignore them sometimes, so I'm just gonna ignore that right now. Back to some of your pros. What are some of your pros?
I think you hit all the pros. One additional one is that this is a good launching point to take some vacations or visit some places that we would otherwise wouldn't be positioned to do, especially with having to purchase 6 tickets now, because only 1 kid can fly in a lap. But that kind of opens up possibilities to travel. We definitely wouldn't have had these, not as immediate of an opportunity to travel. Cons, it's just far. I don't have any issues living outside of the U.S. The tax break is quite favorable if you stay out of the country for a certain amount of time, or if you have a bona fide residence in a country outside of the U.S. That kind of works out very well. But with just parents not getting any younger, grandparents not getting any younger, it's difficult at best to pick up and just go on a moment's notice. It doesn't. It's tough. So it forces us to plan. But like I said, it's the UAE specifically. This region we're in right now is far. It's at least 14 hours of travel straight. Most of the time it takes us about 24 because we take layovers. So
yeah, my major con is definitely the family. We both have very, very close-knit. They are so loud, y'all. They is loud. Anyway, we both have
I have kids that cry, so
the lies. Anyway, we both have very, very close-knit families, and before we decided on the move, we had been discussing with the family other areas of the United States that we may have wanted to move to, and that was a stretch for some of our family members. So, announcing that we were moving to an entirely different country was like, one of those, okay, I need to adjust my life type of situations for some of our family members. So we miss them greatly. Luckily, there's, hangouts and FaceTime and Skype and ways that we can stay connected and keep in touch. We also have family members who don't mind traveling. So his parents came last year. My parents have secured their documentation so that they can travel. So hopefully, before we leave here, they'll be able to come visit us. We have wanderlust siblings. My brother and my sister enjoy traveling. I'm not sure about Derek's sister.
My sister's not coming.
She's okay. Well, his sister's not coming. But we also have friends who have come to visit us and things like that. So that's a bonus. But my major con is definitely being so far away from the family.
25? Mm-hmm. What's the temperature like?
Hot. And autumn.
Yeah. Actually, right now is a very nice time to be in Dubai. I would say October through March safely. April starts to warm up a little bit, but pretty much October through March, you can't go wrong. July, August, and September, well, mid-June through mid-September, you don't want to be here. And some people typically leave. That's when they take their holiday or go to their home of record, because the summer is it's just dumb. It's dumb. All right, so
don't do it. It's basically what
yeah.
It's not what you want me. Like when we first moved here, we got here in July. Funny story, and I didn't think there were kids in the neighborhood. Like our kids didn't make friends until like October, and they were like, "Oh, it's like 500 kids in the neighborhood because nobody goes outside." Yeah. Suffocatingly hot, but it's
too
beautiful.
Hot in the pool in the summer.
It is too hot to get in the pool. You're right. It's too hot. Okay, so here is a important question. I guess a lot of people have is what are some laws to follow while you're here in Dubai? Some of the laws.
Swearing. Which we really had to work with Keisha on that.
The lies! Y'all don't believe that. Please don't. Mama, don't listen. You know better.
Those that pray continue to pray. But technically, cussing in public is a crime.
They still give lashes here too. Like they get lashes, they get fines, they still stone here and all that good stuff. I mean, not often, I don't guess, but
Dubai is pretty progressive in general, but
Yeah.
you definitely respect the culture. So if you go into government buildings, your dress is very important. So ladies in particular, don't leave the club and go to a government building.
I would do that. I would do half. I would do that.
Get how you live. If you, they take offending people very seriously. So if somebody has an issue with you that you've offended them, they can literally report you to the police. And if you get reported to the police, it's in your best interest to go. Because if you don't go, they'll more than likely blacklist you for travel. And it could be something very simple. Hypothetically speaking, maybe a parking incident.
True story.
If there was a misunderstanding as to whose parking spot it belonged to at a given time, I mean, that something like that could probably get you called to a police station. So with that and swearing, we're really working with Keisha on her patience.
Y'all don't listen to this. Pray my strength in the Lord. Please pray my strength in the Lord.
To your stomach, it's fine.
That kind of goes with the next question, what the dress code is like. You want to kind of respect others. They do have like signs posted outside the mall and things like that, like don't have your cheeks hanging out the bottom and please cover up all your boobage and things like that. But you do I still see people dressed.
I haven't seen the sign that says cover.
I mean, that not in those words, but is anywho, so you do kind of want to cover up, you know, but I will wear my shoulders out and things like that, but I you see some of everything here. There are tons of tourists, you know, but you can kind of tell who the tourists are, I guess. Like, you can tell by the way that they dress. Like, me being here during the first year, because I find the culture beautiful, you kind of embrace it and you want to respect it. I mean, you hear the call of prayer during the day, and even if you're not Muslim or anything like that, it's something that can be appreciated, in my opinion. So I don't have a problem with the dress code or anything like that, but they can like give you a fine if anybody is offended, basically. Like, if you
got some explaining to do.
Right, you can. Right, if you offend someone. Another law question: are there laws regarding the Christian faith, and what type of protection is in place in regards to faith? So I did some research and I found a couple of articles, and basically Dubai, like he said, is pretty progressive. As early or as late as last year, 2015, they enacted some amendments to some of their laws in regards to discrimination based on religion and things like that. So you could be fined if you discriminate against someone of the major three faiths, is what the article was saying, basically. So Islam, Judaism, and Christianity are the big three, the heavenly faiths, the ones that they recognize here. So in our case, I have attended Adventist church here, and also a regular Christian church here as well. There's compounds where, I mean, you can find the mosque, everyone can be serviced here, basically, in regards to your faith. So contrary to popular belief or what people may believe, it's not an oppressed place in that regard at all. What are your thoughts?
I agree.
Okay.
You gonna post the article?
Yeah. I'll put down in the description a link to the article if you guys want to look that up as well.
Yeah, because these are our opinions and experiences.
And our perspective.
Don't reference this one when you're locked up because you're active.
You have to be careful in what you say and do, even on social media. So if you post something which can be deemed a hate crime or discriminatory to someone in the country based on their religion, their race, their age, you know, whatever, they can deport you. And that's serious. So you want to be careful what you say and what you do. This country, I have come to realize, is all about respect. They respect their country, they respect the people in it, and they just, require that respect in return. So if you don't have a problem following rules and respecting people, I think you'd be good being here and do that. So leading into the next question, how are black people treated, and is there racism here? It's illegal.
Most of the people here are colored.
They are.
They are
colored.
Tinted to some degree.
Right.
African Americans. I'm not sure what percent of the population we make. There are tons of Africans from multiple different countries in Africa: Kenya, Ethiopia, Uganda, West Africa, Sierra Leone, Ghana, Togo. I mean, it's a lot. It's a big melting pot of people. I would suggest, from my experience and my observation, that I wouldn't necessarily say racism, but probably classism is a more prominent discrimination. The haves and the have-nots. Huge disparity. As with many countries, but it's very obvious that Dubai is known for opulence and stunning buildings and architecture. There's a population that constructs these magnificent
Beautiful
buildings and features and all that. So there's pretty big disparity between the haves and the have-nots. So I have seen instances where the have-nots may not be treated as the haves, which is true probably in most places. Not that it makes it okay, but I haven't experienced racism directly here, at least not to my knowledge, and I'm pretty much not focused on a lot of other stuff when I'm out and about anyway. If I'm out with the family, I'm pretty much watching the kids, making sure they're okay. So I may be oblivious to a bunch of stuff that's going on, but I haven't experienced it here.
Not at all. I'd have to agree with what you said, dear. So a question number this one. Do you want to read that one?
Do you feel safe? Yeah. As safe or safer, probably safer in some aspects than I would in the U.S. The concerns are different. So children playing outside is not a major concern. More relaxed. Greater concern, driving.
Road rage is real.
So yeah, road rage is real, and then
So
just idiots. I mean, idiot drivers. You have a melting pot, a collection of people from various places that have various protocols, if you want to call it that, for driving. Then they all come here to test it out. So street signs are more suggestions, and stoplights are suggestions as well.
Everything's a suggestion.
Yeah. Stoplights are not so bad, but definitely markings on the road separating lanes.
Bad.
Suggestions at best. People will typically just try to drive in the very space that you're driving in.
Like if I just put my car here, that's where I'm supposed to be. No, ma'am, that's
And
not
part of
how
that
this
is what I used to struggle with as recently as this morning is you don't belong in my lane. You just don't. If I'm already driving, you don't belong in the space that I'm driving. So sometimes I need you to know that there's a place for you. It's just not where I am. So
Let the church say, amen.
find your space.
Stay in your lane and pump your brakes. About the safety, from my aspect of it, we have a teenager, and I kind of measure our safety best, based on the kids and whatever challenges and things they're going through at the time. So, as a teenager, you're growing, you're budding, you're going through, changes, feeling yourself and things like that. I prefer her going through this stage in life in the UAE as opposed to going through this major change in her life in the States, because I would probably be in jail and we ain't got no bail money. Yeah. So, it's safer here. People have limits, which I appreciate.